hair everywhere. Water and conditioner and a spray. If I don't do this, after I either wake up, showered yesterday, but wake up and hair's in a knot. Not bad though. Been told that I look like a lion when I finish though, because it puffs my hair up so much. Seriously, it's amazing that I have any hair left as much as I pull out of my head on a daily basis. And even trying to take care of it, making sure that I wash and condition, comb it out, put it up in the evening before I go to bed so that it's not just everywhere at night. And still handful of hair every day. All right, let's get some editing done. Where the rubber meets the road. My text tag work or no? Texas tag? It doesn't work? Okay. Okay. How much is it? 14. Okay, I can take care of credit, right?
Let me out. I'm stuck in your pocket.
Thank you. As you enter the fort, of course, a very important aspect is to make sure that you sanitize.
Well, as you guys know, I definitely enjoy an opportunity to swing by locations that are historically significant. In this case, Jamestown is probably the most significant location at which I could stop. And the primary reason for that is the fact that it is the first successful English settlement in the New World.
Each of the different structures around the Powhatan village adjacent to Jamestown. communal living at its best, I guess. This is actually really nice. You got the pelts lining the beds. Fireplace right in the middle of the room. Place to store essentials, or even an additional place to sleep if you wanted to climb up there. It looks like benches and beds all around, more than likely for sleeping and meeting.
In late 1606, the journey to Virginia began with 3 ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery. They arrived in 1607. 104 Englishmen and boys arrived in North America to start a settlement.
Let it not be said, the English sought the wealth of Virginia above and before the glory of God, and the propagation of his kingdom amongst the savages.
Are they really savages?
Verily, but don't you worry. We have brought many guns and swords to protect us, and scores of beads and pieces of copper to trade with the naturals.
They chose Jamestown, Virginia for their settlement, which was named after King James I.
Welcome to Jamestown. As you arrive on the James River, just up from Chesapeake Bay, you would arrive at the fort, the original settlement.
The site was specifically chosen because it was surrounded by water on 3 sides and it was relatively far inland, which meant that it was easily defendable against the Spanish attacks. The water was also deep enough that they could tie their ships at the shoreline, and it was not inhabited by a Native American population.
So, captain's quarters, got his bed, table to work, clean up. Fireplace. Perhaps even cook's quarters, as this vent goes up to where I was on the deck.
By June of that year, the fort was completed. It was a triangular shape with a bulwark at each corner, holding 4 to 5 pieces of artillery. This protected them against any possible attacks from the local Powhatan Indian. The most significant problem that the colonists faced was the fact that they relied so heavily on supplies from England, rather than being self-sufficient in the area in which they were living. They weren't there long before they went through what was known as the starving time, and that's primarily because they did not have the ability to sow the crops that they were familiar with in the area, and they needed to change that up.
A very important aspect of survival would be gardening. Of course, you wouldn't be crossing the sidewalk to get to each of the gardens, but in this case, gardens were primarily outside the fort walls, and a lot of the Native Americans in the area showed them what would be able to be planted here and would survive.
Peace between the Powhatan Indians and the English, brought about by the conversion and marriage of Pocahontas, who was actually kidnapped by the English in 1613, remained tenuous at best. A conflict that came to a head as a result of English merchants being the only individuals that could purchase their tobacco, along with high taxes and attacks on outlying plantations by American Indians on the frontier. Nathaniel Bacon was able to get 1,000 settlers to join him to take care of the Indian problem. The biggest problem with this was the fact that they did not differentiate between the Native American tribes that were actually to blame versus those that were loyal to the English. The governor of the colony, Governor Berkeley, declared Bacon a rebel, and civil war erupted in the colony. In September, Bacon and his followers set fire to Jamestown, destroying 16 to 18 houses, the church, and the state house.
Don't forget your phones.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon was eventually killed, and the rebels were captured and tried, and 23 were hanged by Governor Berkeley. Ultimately, Jamestown was abandoned, and most of the colonists moved to Middle Plantation, which is renamed Williamsburg, Virginia. And it actually began to fall into disrepair until it was ultimately picked up and preserved by the National Park Service.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All the best, always.
Wanna come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel, can you dig it, fool?